Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing really well out there today. In this video, we're going to take a look at a brand new app that just released this morning called DumbAssets. DumbAssets is a new way to organize your purchases or assets and keep track of warranty information, receipts, and components, but also allows you to keep track of any maintenance that your assets may require. For maintenance, think like air filters for your air purifiers, maintenance on your car like oil changes and air filter changes, or whatever other maintenance your assets happen to need. As you can probably tell by the name of the app, DumbAssets was released by the Dumbware group, who gave us things like DumbDrop, DumbPad, and several other amazing apps. But before we get into DumbAssets, here's a quick message from Alex from Dumbware.
Hey everyone, my name is Alex. You may better know me as Abite, a co-founder of Dumbware alongside Vin. This organization was born with the mission to develop stupid simple solutions for complex problems. What started as a meager little app to drop files into a folder has grown into a suite we're proud to continue developing. While I myself am far from a real developer, we've benefited greatly from community input and feedback, with a big shout out going to Grierson and GitMotion, who have really helped move a few projects forward. With big plans and a number of other apps in line to develop, we're very excited to have released DumbAssets, your stupid simple asset tracker. We really wanted a way for users to be able to organize everything they have, whether it's from a home lab or a project car. Keeping track of warranties and maintenance is hard enough as it is. Finding simple software to do both, even harder. With that said, we greatly appreciate all of your support. We look forward to your feedback, and we hope you enjoy utilizing DumbAssets and the rest of our suite. Thank you.
I'm really excited to have Alex on the channel to introduce himself, his team, and their new project. Now, a couple of quick disclaimers. First, I'm not the developer. I'm just making a video about the app. So if you've got technical questions about the app, be sure to check out the Dumbware Discord or their GitHub. Number two, this app uses Docker, and I'm not going to get into explaining how to install or use Docker, as it's outside the scope of this particular video, and there are lots of resources available outside this video to learn how to get started. That said, let's take a look at DumbAssets. Okay, so this is my DumbAssets dashboard as I've currently got it set up. I just deployed this a couple of hours ago, though I did have an opportunity to do some testing before it was officially launched. So I just kind of wanted to clarify that. I haven't been using this for very long as it sits because, again, it was just released this morning, but I have had an opportunity to take a look at this over the past several days on a test server that the Dumbware folks gave me access to. So here we go. This, like I said, is my dashboard. We've got DumbAssets in the top left corner, and that just refreshes the page effectively. If we come over to the top right, we've got our home button. We've got, and that again does basically the same thing. We've got a settings button here. We'll take a look at settings here in a little bit. And then we've also got the ability to toggle light and dark mode, so you can choose whichever works best for you. Over here on the left-hand side, we'll take a look through this column real quick. We can search for whatever assets we've already uploaded or added to the site. So if I wanted to search for laptop, it filters immediately, and I love that filtering search system that they've got there. I can quickly search very, very easily, and I really like how they've handled that. Below that, we've got a couple of buttons. We've got Add Asset or Import Assets. If we click Add, we can then go through and fill out all of this information like name, manufacturer, model number, serial number, purchase date, price, warranty scope, warranty expiration. Is it lifetime? You can check that box. Maybe you've got a couple of different warranties. You can add that as well. We've got a link to the product if you want to keep track of that. Tags, again, for sorting and that sort of thing. Maybe you've got multiple computers and you just want to see computers, you can tag them and sort them that way as well. We've got notes, we've got maintenance events. So when you click this, you can then say, defrag SSD. Don't ever do that. But then you could say, is it going to be frequency based or is it a specific date? And then you can say, is it going to be, defrag it once a month, and the next due date is this. And then from there, it will remind you once a month. We've got notes that we can add here. We can add multiple maintenance events as you need to. And then you can also attach files. So a photo of the item, a receipt, or a manual. My understanding is that currently only one photo, one receipt, one manual can be uploaded right now, but they're working on making it so you can upload multiple files for each of those different segments. Once you're happy with all of the information that we haven't put in here, you can click Save. And if you don't want to do that, you can click Cancel, and it'll bring us right back to here. Now, next to that, we've got Import Assets. What's cool about this is you can download this CSV file right here, fill it in, and then upload it by clicking here or dragging it, clicking Start Import, and it should then basically upload all of your assets to this dashboard. And I absolutely love that they thought about that. They've also got an option that we'll talk about later to export your asset list to a CSV file as well. Next, down here on the left-hand side of this column, still the next section is sorting alphabetically up or down. We can sort by the I don't know if this is when it was uploaded or when the asset warranty expires. I'm actually not sure about that. Next, we've got the option to clear our sort filters here. That's what this button does. Next, we've got all of our assets below that. And these are in alphabetical order as it currently stands. And we can see the different tags that I've added to each one. If we take a look at, say, main laptop, we can kind of see what that looks like when it was added. Of course, that was this morning. We can see the manufacturer, the model number, the serial number, the purchase date, the price, the warranty, what type of warranty, and when it expires, and then a link to that as well. Tags, we've got below that, and then components. I don't currently have a component on this, but I do have one here. And we're going to see all of that same information in this section that we just saw a moment ago, along with a picture this time that pops open in a new tab. But then below that, we've got components. And in order to install this, I did have to buy something additional, which was some speaker wire. And we can see that right there. We can click in. We can see all of the information about that component for that other product. And I love that they've got the ability to add components and even sub-components for your assets. I absolutely love what they've done with all of this. And of course, on any of these, whether it's an asset or a component or whatever, you can always click in here to edit or delete that asset or component. So really, really, really straightforward stuff as far as this is concerned. If we take a look at the air purifier here, again, all of the same information here. But now we're also seeing maintenance. So we can see that the maintenance event is change the filter once a month. So again, that will, because of the way I've got this set up, in about a month, I'll get a notification through Gotify. We'll talk again about notifications and that sort of thing in a little bit. But this also shows the maintenance that needs to be done for this device. I don't have any components or any additional stuff because this was just kind of the first test item that I put in here. But again, if I wanted to, I could edit or I could delete this asset very, very easily. So that's kind of the gist on how easy it is to use DumbAssets. Now, with that said, I do want to take a look at the settings because we've talked about how to add things and how to filter through things and look at things and edit things. Let's take a quick look at the settings here. So under notifications, we've got, do we want to get notified when an asset is added, deleted, or edited? We can turn these on or off. How soon do we want to get a notification for things like warranty and maintenance? Like 1 month, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 days. Should probably turn on that maintenance if I want that to work. And then we can click Save. We can also, if we wanted to, click Test, and then that will have sent a notification to my Gotify setup. And in fact, we can actually see that right here. Here is my Gotify instance. And because I clicked Test, here we can see that our test notifications are working. It says 59 minutes from now because this computer is set to the wrong time zone. But here we can see several of the tests that I have done. In fact, here's one where I added an asset and it sent me a notification, or I deleted an asset and it sent me a notification as well. And here again, you can see that I'm using Gotify for these notifications. So if we come back over here, we can take a look at the interface. We can change the order of how we want our sections in there, which I love. We can toggle sections on and off for analytics or totals or events or whatever. We can toggle the cards that are available here as well. So they've actually put a lot of thought into making this as customizable as possible without making it super complicated. And I love what they've done with that. Of course, once you've changed all of this, click the Save button at the bottom of the page. Next, we've got our system, and this is what I was talking about earlier. We can export all data or a simple CSV. So now let's take a look at the main body of the page, where we're going to get a quick overview, a quick highlight of what we've got going on. So we've got our warranty status. We can see that we've got 2 that are active, and we've got 1 that's about to expire in the next 30 days. And it's got a little orange segment there to let us know that it's kind of something we should pay attention to. Next, we've got warranties expiring over time, and we can see, we have 1 warranty expiring in July, and then another in November. And I kind of like seeing that here as well. If there were more warranties that were going to be expiring, they would also show up in here as well. Below that, we've got assets, so our totals, we've got 3 assets, 1 component, and the total value of those assets. We can kind of toggle through, like we've got a component here under that Rockford Fosgate subwoofer, and that component was the speaker wire I needed. Let's go ahead and clear all of that. Below that, we've got warranties, where we've got total of 3 warranties here. 0 are going to expire in 60 days. We've got 1 that's going to expire in 30 days. And if I click that, again, it's going to filter down to this 1 item over here to let us know that that's the item that's going to expire in 30 days. So you can filter things out based on when they're going to expire, or we can click the total there and bring us back to our home screen. Below that, we can see all of our warranties. Basically, we've got all of our warranties here. We can click on just warranties, or we can click on maintenance. I don't have any maintenance coming up, so it's not going to show me that. But you can also see upcoming events, which would be those maintenance events. And that's kind of just the general gist on how to go through and use DumbAssets and add different assets and add different maintenance things and components and subcomponents. And it's just very, very straightforward, as the Dumbware team likes to do, and I absolutely love that. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at how easy it is to get DumbAssets installed. So to get DumbAssets installed, what we're going to do first is head over here to dumbware.io, and of course you can read through their page, which I definitely encourage you to do. If we scroll down, we can see all of the different apps that they have available at the time of recording this video. Man, what are they? 3, 6, 8 different apps so far. And of course, DumbAssets is the newest one with 3 stars and 45 Docker pulls. And it says a stupid, simple hierarchical asset tracker with tagging and AppRise notifications. AppRise notifications confused me at first. Luckily, I was able to talk to Alex this morning, and he cleared some things up for me. So hopefully this video will make your lives a little easier as well. They've got documentation, they've got a demo, they've got their GitHub link, and their Docker Hub link as well. So what we want to do for the sake of what we're doing here is just click on GitHub. And again, you can look through all of the code and that sort of thing. We can see that there was an update 6 minutes ago on this. So they are actively working on additional things for the application. And there's even more stuff coming, like I mentioned earlier. And again, we can scroll down. We can get more information about kind of what we saw already earlier in the video. There's a quick start, there's features, configurations, security, technical details, all kinds of really, really good stuff in here. The way this is currently set up requires an env file, and I was lazy and I didn't do that. I took this and modified it and deployed it my own way. But if you want to go that route, you can absolutely do this. There's a lot of information here, and I'll have links to everything in the video description. If we come over to my Proxmox instance here, I deployed this via a Docker Compose here, but you could just as easily deploy this via Portainer, and that's what we're going to do here in a minute, just so you can see what that looks like. So let's take a look at my Docker Compose. I don't care if you see anything in here. We'll do nano Docker Compose, and here we've got. Let me zoom in a little bit. Here we've got services. We've got DumbAssets as our only service in here with our container name and the image. Now, prior to me getting in here and manipulating this, image was commented out and build was available as the build line. I didn't want to go that route because there was already an image built, so I swapped that. So we're just going to use the default DumbAssets latest image and tag. We've got a restart policy of unless stopped. This runs on port 3000, but of course, you can change that if you need to, and we will here in just a minute. For our volumes, we can decide where we want our information stored. And then below that, we've got some environment variables for our node environment, which is going to be production. Our debug true or false, you can turn that on or off. Our site title, our base URL. And of course, if you were to put this on a domain, you would just make that, HTTPS, yoursite.com or assets.yoursite.com or whatever the case happens to be. We've got a pin as kind of just a very basic authentication here. I've just left it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Demo mode is false. And then this AppRise URL. This is how I get my notifications. And this is through, for me at least, I use Godify. And we took a look at that here a minute ago. That said, you don't have to use Godify. This is the supported notifications from Apprise. I may have said AppRise. I apologize. It's Apprise. I've said AppRise so many times, and I've been trying to fix it. It's Apprise. It's apprising you of this information, right? So if I said Apprise earlier, or if I said AppRise earlier, I haven't had enough coffee yet. It's Apprise. I apologize for that. But basically, here are all of the different things that you can use to get notifications from DumbAssets. And of course, I'm using Godify, but you could use Google Chat or Home Assistant or if this, then that. Mailgun, Mastodon, like all kinds of things in here. I'm not going to read all of these to you. But this is how you can get notifications. There's so many of them. Now, when I first installed DumbAssets, I thought I needed my own separate installation of Apprise, and I was wrong. It's actually got Apprise built into it. So all you have to do is if we take a look here, we can see that I used Godify S because I'm using an SSL with that. So Godify S, and then my URL and the key for that particular app. I don't care if you see this. This won't be available. So all of that is built into this for the notifications. You don't need to have a separate Apprise installation like I thought you did. It's just put in the schema for whichever platform you want to use to get notifications and deploy. So I'm going to copy this, and then we're going to head over to Portainer, and I'm going to create a new stack. I'm going to do this. I'm going to click Add Stack. I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to call this DumbAssets Tut. And then I'm going to zoom in again, just so it's a little easier for you to see. Now, as I mentioned, we're already using port 3000, so I'm going to change this to like 3030. And that's all you would need to change if you need to change the port for this. If you're already using port 3000, just change the first half of that. We do need to map this somewhere else. So I'm going to do that here. Docker DumbAssets. There we go. And then again, all of this is fine until we get down to here. I'm going to call this tutorial. And then I'm going to change that port to 3030 as well. All of this should be good. I'm just going to use the same app key for my Godify instance. And once I'm happy with all of this, I can scroll down and click on deploy the stack. Oops. The container name is already in use. They're right. Tutorial. I screwed that up. Deploy the stack. This should deploy very quickly because it's already got the Docker image downloaded. And there we go. So we're up and running. The one thing I actually haven't looked at is the image. So if we take a look at Dumbware assets, 250 megs for that Docker image, which is great. So let's come back to containers. We've got DumbAssets tutorial, and then right over here, I'm going to click right there. Again, my pin is 1, 2, 3, 4, and just like that, we're up and running. And if we want to make sure that our Godify notifications are working, we can click assets, or we can click settings rather, and we can click test. And here they are. They're coming through in real time right there. 59 minutes. This all happened right now. Okay, so there you go. There is the newest app in the Dumbware lineup. Again, DumbAssets. Love that they've done this. I think it's a great way to keep track of not only your assets, but again, their warranty information, receipts, pictures, as well as any maintenance items that those particular things may need down the line. I really think Alex and his team have done a great job with this. And of course, all of the Dumbware stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, they will have additional features and modifications coming to this app. So what you see in this video, because it literally released this morning, may be different when you actually deploy the app for yourself. So be sure to keep that in mind. Again, if you've got any technical questions about the app or feature requests or things like that, I'm not the guy for that. Definitely reach out to them either via GitHub or their Discord. I'll have links to everything in the video description. But I think with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank you guys for spending a few minutes of your day with me here today, and I'll talk to you in the next video.